Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente. Yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 225. Rob Hoback here. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. It's May 29th. Happy you're here. Honored and humbled that you guys keep coming back for reals. So thank you. Like I said, it's hump day. Hump day. That's for you now, Barb. I would get really loud, but the kids are sleeping. I'm not ready for them to get up yet. But so first things first, I'm the realist. I'm also revived. I was thinking about this word yesterday. Told you guys, shared with you that I went to a leadership convention last week. And, as I was talking about it yesterday, that was a big theme that was discussed over and over yesterday is, what was your opinion? How did things go? Blah, blah, blah. And I feel like I'm revived. I feel like, very similar to, when I was growing up, in the churches that we went to, they would have revivals. So they'd have speakers come in, and it was kind of the same format where you just meet repeatedly over the course of a week, and it was just that energy and bringing people together over a common theme. And last week it was about my employer and our future together as opposed to religion, but it was the same basic principle that let's all come together, let's interject some enthusiasm and some energy and some compelling stories and get everybody to buy back in, re-engage. Revived. And if anybody knows about revivals, I feel like I'm an expert on this given how much time I spent going to revival meetings. All right, and so our question of the day, how long is a decade really? All right, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Before we get to that, let's talk about thank yous. All right, I talked about this earlier. Kids are here sleeping. I was supposed to be in Chicago today, so yesterday was a very interesting day for me. Woke up early. I woke up early, but I was later than I wanted to be. And I was supposed to have a 6 o'clock flight, 6 a.m., day after a holiday, and just all havoc, right? Flight was delayed. Long story short, ended up canceling my flight and rescheduling my meeting. And so got a bonus day. I didn't think I was going to I thought I was going to be in Chicago last night. So I didn't think I was going to be able to be with the kids on my regularly scheduled day. But then since the meeting got canceled, I got to have them here. And what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful for kids in my bed, right? I mean, let's just be honest. Had I gone to Chicago, I'd have been staying in a nice hotel, had an old bed to myself. But last night I put the kids down knowing that they were going to wake up in the middle of the night, the two youngest ones, and come get in bed with me. And I used to get upset about it, like back when Sam was a kid, because they get in, they start doing that thing where they put their feet on you and just no matter where you are, they find you. And it's Jack and Addie now, and they're literally, it's like they have separation anxiety. No matter where you go, they'll find you, and they have to be touching you. And so kind of along the same lines, Sam doesn't come get in bed with me anymore, and he's only 12. So that means I got, 6 years left with Addie and maybe 9 with Jack, so less than a decade. So what got me thinking about a decade was the statistic, because the NBA finals start tomorrow night, and it's the first time since 2010 that the king, LeBron James, is not in the finals, right? So it got to me thinking, all right, well, what's happened with you since 2010, right? So I got some stats for you here. And then we'll talk about what we learned. Since 2010, we're using the NBA finals as our guide. So another interesting fact. This doesn't have anything to do with the decade, but was about Shaq. If you take all of the people that played with Shaq and have played in NBA finals themselves, there's a 34-year span. So when he first got into the league, he was playing with guys who had played in finals before he started. There's a guy in the finals today, Danny Green, who when he was, I believe, a rookie, played on the same team as Shaq. So it's pretty cool, right? Anyway, since 2010, right, since the last time, and I can remember exactly where I was. I remember these finals. It was the first year of the Heat with LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh, and they played and lost to the Dallas Mavericks. That's when LeBron changed his game. Anyway, since that time, I've had 5 different home addresses. I've had 2 children, and I am on my 4th job, right? And you think, oh gosh, well, that's what happens when you have things that, like there's a home in there that I lived in for only 9 months. 3 that were rentals that were just a year total. And then the 4 jobs, 2 of those jobs were 1-year jobs. So it's just interesting when I look back. And then, for me, I was born in 1970. So as a kid, I was kind of conditioned to look for the next decade. So, it's like, and I remember as a kid thinking, oh my gosh, in 2000, I'll be 30. That just seems so far away, right? Well, yeah, it was so far away. It's almost 20 years ago. And so, I just think about, how those decades have changed. So, 0 to 10, don't really remember a whole lot about that. Maybe my mom walking me to kindergarten and crying. And, I remember little bits and pieces of that. 10 to 20, then you have some more memories and a lot of awkward situations and, just feeling like you didn't belong. And, but then also some very happy times too. It's when I met, if you go back to number 44, that's when I met the Benningtons. They became a big part of that decade. 20 to 30, man, that was a mess, right? That was the decade when I started realizing that there was a significant delta between the things that I held as the absolute truth and what reality was. And that was very confusing to me. And then from 30 to 40, right? It was just trying to bring some stability to my life. And then unfortunately, the last 10 years, when I was trying to get stability, there was a lot of turmoil. And so I look now and I'm like, okay, so between now and 2030, what are you gonna do? Well, like there's gonna be stability, right? Like it's only worth your while to revisit the past and look back and say, hey, what did we learn from that? If we actually learn it and we apply it. And as I think of through my personal journey, when I look at those around me, like, well, the ones who are really successful, what common traits do they have versus the people that struggle? And the biggest one is just the stability, right? Like if you've got a stable environment on which you can, that whenever everything else is going wrong, you still have some stability. You got a place, some people, your home, whatever it is, where you go for just a recharge, right? That you've got some place that you can go back and say, I got to get back to home base. And I got to recharge. I got to find my people, get ready to go, and then come back out. So, yeah. See, all this LeBron 10 years things really got me thinking this morning. So, yeah, I think that's all I got for today. Hands up, peace out. We're better together. Appreciate you coming by. And we will be back tomorrow. All right. See you then. Thanks.